I'm working on writing fiction, which is definitely a difficult undertaking. I've been writing poetry, and I still say this is worldwide. This is since antiquity, since history, that poetry has been the first of the language, first of the aesthetic expression of the. So it's basically the root of rhetoric, the language, the saying, anything, any passage is devoid of poetry. That means a rhythm. That means some sort of musical cadence. I would not rate that as a good work of prose even. I'm working on my book. I don't know how it goes, and I'm already through it. It's a different kind of novel. It's got more ideas into it, more history, it's more reflective in a certain manner, less of a dialogue. It's kind of something which you can see omniscience, understanding and conveying what the characters do think or what's going in their inner landscape. I also gone into the landscape as well. So we'll see when it is there and when it is out. I'll be explaining that, maybe even chapter wise. And I say that generally my content here is academic. It is for the purpose of education, pure and simple. Whatever my vocation might be, being a retired civil service officer, or might be doing any uh, other activity or joining a profession, becoming a teacher, most probably, and maybe not. And just a writer, like I'm not a columnist, I can't write columns. I don't speak on politics much. I would not like, there are a lot many people already doing that. Will be restricted to my area of interest and my area of passion. Talking about language and of talking about literature. One more point is that I've been through various uh, stages of all these writings, and mostly it had been my solo enterprise. I have interacted with some academia, some groups, some organizations on literary activities on literature. What I have observed is that a writer is basically a lonely person. You have to work in solitude. And once you accomplish that, once you convey uh, your thoughts and your feelings and whatever you want to speak about, which in a way which is also your responsibility as such. It is not some leisurely work here. It is also a responsibility. What I have learned or what my impressions are. So I not only have the right to say that, of course, limited by other obligations as well, there are some other opinions, so, especially when then it comes to writing and it comes to literature. I like to talk about it. I miss that deep conversation with some people. I have some very few friends with whom I sometimes have an encounter, that sort of a chance meeting that I have with them. And then we pick the topic from where we have left. We don't write about life as a whole, but we write about our very small individual life, that small surrounding. And I agree with Susan Sontag. She's a great writer and thinker, that it is through fiction, or it is even through poetry, and particularly through fiction, those very small talk between characters are what they are uh, doing by their acts or by their talks, that you convey something onwards. It is human, it is just creating an empathy, and you want to tell someone somewhere, and that uh, might change some of the perceptions about some people. And here I particularly I talk of uh, the marginalized societies. One problem that I have seen here is that people in those societies, they are not that literate. They even cannot articulate their issues, their problems. Not only these are political problems or exploitation, they don't even convey their inner thoughts and feelings, their pains, their joys, their love, their suffering. Then here comes the role of a writer, which is more saintly in nature. I would say, instead of telling them that, well, what is happening to them is their fault. So the writer's role is that tell the rest of the world that what is happening there is not their fault alone, rather not their fault at all. So when you go deeper into that thinking and that phenomena, you actually realize that those people are being not only marginalized, they are being brutally killed, mass murder. We see in Gaza, we see in other places in the world. The relationship with the power structures, bigger power structures, and then the societal reactions towards that, and then what we call as the civil society, generally unaware of what's happening. And they just pick the narrative that is being fed to them. So the writer's role is bigger in that sense of the word. So thank you very much.